The horned logos, the antlered word and the sound of resurrection, the metamorphosis of speech into music, prophecy, and the divine animal of language. The horn is the organ of vision and of voice, and at the last trump we shall be changed. The poet is the horn through which the gods blow their breath. Every word is an animal, every sentence a hunt. Music is the sound of resurrection before the eyes have opened. The Logos is horned, language branching from the skull of being. The poet's head is the forest of God, each antler a syntax, each time a syllable. The word that was made flesh grows antlers through incarnation. To speak is to shed one's horns into sound. Every utterance is a metamorphosis of bone into resonance. The horn is a wind instrument. The horn is a wind instrument, breath made visible. The trumpet, shofar, or hunting horn, each is an exhalation turned ritual. The Logos begins not as grammar, but as breath. Exhalation precedes articulation. To speak is to blow through one's mortality, sounding its transfiguration. The resurrection begins with an inhalation. The spirits return to sound. The horn is always a signal. The prophet blows their words through the body's instruments. Moses' horned face was not monstrous, but radiant, light breaking through the skull. Revelation is the skull turned translucent, prophecy the light that escapes. The word becomes horn to be heard in thunder. Music is metamorphosis without remainder, the body made rhythm. The horned Logos is music incarnate, meaning as vibration, order as pulse. Language must become melody again before it can resurrect. Poetry is the threshold where meaning sheds its skin and begins to sing. The resurrection of the word is the remusicalization of thought. The twin horn represents the twofold nature of speech, meaning and mystery. One horn points towards comprehension, the other toward chaos. Between them, consciousness trembles, caught in resonance. To speak truly is to balance both horns at once, lucidity and delirium. The dialectic of horns is the grammar of divine ambiguity. The hunt is not for prey, but for the word itself. The hounds of thought pursue the fleeing Logos through the forest of language. Each metaphor is a fang, each rhyme a scent on the wind. To write is to chase oneself through the syntax of desire. When the poet catches the word, it turns and devours him. The horn becomes halo when seen from above. Madness and sanctity are the same geometry seen from different attitudes. The saint is the fool who kept growing. The fool is the saint still molting. To be horned is to be crowned by one's own metamorphosis. The radiant skull is both altar and amplifier. At the sound of the horn, the dead shall rise. Resurrection is sonic before it is visible. Hearing precedes seeing. The blast of the last trumpet is not an ending, but a vibration, the frequency of divine recall. Each creature resurrects at its own pitch. The stag at dawn, the lion at noon, the poet at midnight. To awaken is to find that one's skull has become a sounding chamber for eternity. The horn is the archetype of creation, growth as curvature, sound as genesis. Let there be light was first, let there be sound. Vibration gave birth to vision. The eye emerged from the ear of the cosmos. To create is to curve space with resonance, to summon form by frequency. The world is God's breath echoing within the horn of infinity. The Logos returns not as law, but as laughter. Its crown is horned with paradox, its face painted with play. The resurrected word does not judge, but sings. To hear it is to become it. Language remembering it was once life. And the world shall sound again through us, its poets horned and radiant, its force full of words with wings, its silence tuned to song. Antlered Christ, divine irony, mockery in the sacred fool, where humiliation becomes illumination, and the God of sorrow learns to laugh through his horns. God is mocked. The Son of Man came eating and drinking. The fool is brother to the Logos. To be laughed at by the world is to be recognized by heaven. The laughter of the crucified is the thunder of resurrection. Every true God must begin as a fool. Mockery is divine pedagogy, irony as imitation. The crown of thorns is the jest of angels upon the forehead of eternity. The fool is crucified not for ignorance, but for innocence. The laughter of fools is the sound of divinity remembering its disguise. God hides best in ridicule. The holy man becomes clown to escape idolatry of solemnity. Irony is theology in reverse, the negative dialectic of grace. To mock the divine is to reveal it. Blasphemy is the hidden liturgy of apocalypse. Christ laughed first, and the cosmos has not yet stopped echoing. The horns are trophies of humiliation worn as radiance. Actaeon, Falstaff, and Christ share the same geometry of disgrace. mockery bent into halo. The horn is both stigma and crowned, suffering as ornament. He who wears the horns of shame becomes the stag of illumination. The transformation of ridicule into revelation is the divine art of metamorphosis. Resurrection begins with laughter in the tomb. The first sound in heaven is not a hymn, but a chuckle. Laughter loosens the shell of death. Every joke is a small Easter. To laugh is to resurrect the body for an instant. The fool's grin is the open sepulchre of the soul. The incarnation is the divine entering the stage in costume. This world is a comedy to those who think, a tragedy to those who feel, and the Christ feels both. God performs himself through parody, divine repetition and inversion. The liturgy is theater misunderstood as ritual. Redemption is performance art in eternity's amphitheater. To mock is to touch from a distance. Laughter is eros without possession. Every jest conceals desire. The caress of contradiction. The mocking of the divine is the lover's teasing of the beloved. Laughter between gods and mortals is the intercourse of consciousness. Ecstasy is laughter remembered as union. The fool redeems by inversion. The low becomes the height. Blessed are the ridiculous, for there is the kingdom of irony. The fool's wisdom is that nothing is lost when all is laughed at. The world ends not in fire or ice, but in the cosmic fit of laughter. The last judgment will be a divine comedy without audience or stage. The next Messiah will arrive in jest, not in judgment. He will wear a paper crown not of thorns but of satire. He will preach through paradox and heal through laughter. His church will have no walls, only echoes. And when the people mock him, he will smile, for he will know they have finally seen. The resurrected Christ wears his thorns proudly, the antlers of awakening. From his brow branch laughter, love, and luminous madness of being. The horn is his new cross, vertical, liver, ever growing. The fool's laughter nourishes the roots of heaven. The cosmos will be redeemed when it learns to laugh with him. Every joke is a miniature apocalypse. Revelation disguised as absurdity. The punchline is the instant of illumination. The laugh, a small resurrection. The fool knows that seriousness is sin against becoming. God's final word will not be law, but laughter. And when he laughs, all things will awake. The horns of the world resounding. The antlered word alive again, singing through the forests of eternity.